Elijah's journey, the prophets who shaped history. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to stand alone against a world that's forgotten its faith? Imagine a time when darkness crept over a once holy land, where the echoes of God's name faded into silence. This is the story of Israel sinking into despair after the death of King Solomon, a time when God's chosen people slowly turned their back on him. Under the rule of Ahab, the most infamous king Israel had ever known, the land withered, not just a drought, but from a spiritual famine. Have you ever felt a void where hope once lived? That was Israel then, stained with the blood of innocent prophets, haunted and slaughtered by Ahab's cruel wife, Jezebel. What if one man's courage could turn the tide? From the forgotten hills of Gilead, God raised an answer, a man named Elijah, whose very name promised judgment and fire. My God is Yahweh. This is a tale of the mightiest prophets who commanded the skies to close, calling down fire from heaven, never tasted death. But it's more than that. It's the story of the man behind the miracle, his fears, his doubt, and his loneliness. Have you ever faced a battle within yourself, one more doubting than any external enemy? For Elijah, his greatest struggle wasn't against king or armies, but against the doubt and isolation that gnawed at his soul until they nearly broke him. What if your weakest moment could become your greatest strength? Let's journey into his life and discover how God shaped a flawed human into a legend. For years, Elijah lived in silence, hidden among the barren mountains of Gilead. He was no warrior, no priest, just a man in camel hair garments. His thick beard, forming eyes that burn with an overworldly fire. Have you ever felt unnoticed, waiting for your purpose to unfold? One day, God reveals Elijah's calling, ending his quiet exile. With purpose ignited his spirit, he descended from the mountain and marched into the heart of corruption, Samaria, where King Ahab ruled alongside Jezebel. What if a single step could change a nation? As he approached the palace gate, soldiers froze, paralyzed by an unseen power, letting him pass as if the air itself a powerful God's messenger. Without announcement or escort, Elijah struck through the throne room. Servants retreated, the palace column witnessing a wild prophet. No crown, no sword, driven by divine will. There sat Ahab, surrounded by counselors, idols, and vanity. Have you ever stood before someone who seems untouchable, yet know you carried a greater authority? Before Ahab could question his stranger, Elijah boldly declared, "As surely as the Lord lives, the God of Israel whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain during these years except my word." Silence feels like a hammer strike. No one dares breathe. Elijah turns and vanished, leaving Ahab motionless. Suddenly, cloud vanished, the air turns dry, and the sky seals shut. What if your word could command nature itself? God then spoke again. "Go eastward and hide by the brook Cherith east of the Jordan. You will drink from the brook, and I have commanded raven to feed you there." Elijah obeyed, and as he left, Israel's field began to wither under the sun's relentless scourge. For 3 long years, not a drop of rain fell, a judgment that turned a fertile nation into a wasteland. Have you ever watched hope fade as circumstances worsened? Elijah traveled to Cherith, a hidden oasis near the Jordan, while a thin ribbon of water sliced through dry rock. Each dawn, raven, bird, deemed unclean by law, brought bread and meat. settle near him before vanishing? What if God used the unexpected to sustain you? In solitude, Elijah ate and drank, watching days turn to months. As drought spread across Israel, where rain dried, fields barren, animals collapsed, yet Ahab, desperate, searched for the prophet, yielded nothing. Gradually, Cherith's water dwindled, and one morning, Elijah found only damp stones. Did he panic? No, he waited in faith. Then God's voice came, "Arise, go to Zarephath in Sidon. I have commanded a widow there to care for you." Zarephath, Jezebel's homeland. Zarephath was dangerous territory, a place where prophets were hunted. Have you ever been sent into a lion den? Yet Elijah didn't hesitate. The journey was grueling. The sun battering cracked field and a lifeless tree. At Zarephath's gate, he saw her, a frail widow in rags. He gathered sticks, her face weary. Something in his spirit confirmed it. This was the one. "Please bring me water and a piece of bread," he asked calmly. She stopped, trembling. "As surely as the Lord your God lives, I have only a handle of flour and a little oil for one last meal for my son and me. Then we will die. What if your last hope rests on a stranger's word?" Elijah responded, "Do not be afraid. Bake a small cake for me first, then for yourself and your son. The jar of flour will not be used up, nor the jug of oil run dry until the Lord sends rain." She faced a choice: cling to her scant resources or trust his dusty wanderer. Have you ever had to let go to receive? She chose faith, baked the bread, and miraculously the flour and oil never ran dry. They ate for days until her son fell ill, his breath fading. "Have you come to remind me of my sin by killing my son?" she cried. Elijah took the boy, laid him on his bed, and prayed, stretching himself over the child 3 times. "Lord, let this child's life return." Silence hung heavily. Then the boy breathed again. "See, your son is alive," Elijah said, and her faith ignited. What if a miracle could restore your trust? Yet the drought persists. Hunger struck the poor, then the wealthy, and despair. Obadiah, Ahab, steward, hid 100 prophets in caves, feeding them daily despite Jezebel's persecution. Have you ever risked everything for what's right? One day, Obadiah met Elijah on a dusty road. "Go tell Ahab I am here," Elijah commanded. Fearful, Obadiah confessed his secret aid to the prophet. But Elijah insisted, "As surely as the Lord lived, I will stand before Ahab today." Obadiah obeyed, and Ahab confronted Elijah. "Is that you, troubles of Israel?" Elijah restored it. "You and your father's house trouble Israel by abandoning God for Baal. Summon all Israel to Mount Carmel, with Baal's 450 prophets and Asherah 400. Thousands climbed Mount Carmel, tension thick. Have you ever witnessed a showdown between faith and falsehood?" Elijah asked, "How long will you waver between 2 options? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal, follow him." He prospers a challenge. 2 bulls, no fire. Baal's prophets will call first, then Elijah. Then scream and dance from morning to noon, but Baal's was silent. Elijah mocked, "Shout louder, maybe he is asleep." They cut themselves, blood flowing, yet no fire came. Then Elijah turned. He rebuilt the altar with 12 stones, soaked it with water, and prayed, "Lord, answer me, that these people may know you are God." Fire blasts from heaven, assuming the sacrifice, stone and water. The crowd failed, crying, "The Lord, He is God." What if one prayer could turn a nation? Elijah orders Baal's prophets seized and executed at Kishon, purifying the land. Since it rained, he told Ahab, "Prepare your chariot, I hear a storm." 7 times his servant looked seaward, see nothing, until a small cloud appeared. Soon a torrential downpour soaked the earth. Have you ever prayed until you saw the answer? Elijah outran Ahab's chariots, propelled by God's power, proving Yahweh's rules Israel. But the battle wasn't over. Jezebel, enraged, threatened Elijah's life. Fear gripped him, and he fled into the wilderness, collapsing under a broom tree, crying, "Take my life, Lord. I am no better than my ancestors." Have you ever hit rock bottoms, feeling alone? An angel fed him, urging, "Eat, for you have a long journey." Strengthened, he traveled 40 days to Mount Horeb, where God asked, "What are you doing here?" Elijah lamented, "I alone am left. They seek to kill me." God invited him outside as wind, earthquake, and fire passed. Then a gentle whispers, "What are you doing here?" God asked again. He revealed 7,000 faithful remained, giving Elijah new purpose, anointing Hazael, Jehu, and Elisha as prophet. Elijah found Elisha blowing fuel, placed his cloak on him, calling him to follow. Elisha burned his past and served Elijah. Years later, Ahab's greed led to Nabal's murder for his vineyard. Elijah prophesied Ahab's doom. Dog would lick his blood. Ahab humbled himself, delayed judgment to his son's time. Ahab died in battle as foretold, and Ahaziah, his son, counseled Baal-zebub, earning Elijah's curse of death, fulfilled by fire from heaven twice before the third captain's plea spared him. Elijah end neared. With Elisha, he crossed the Jordan, parting waters with his cloak. "Ask what I should do for you," he said. Elisha requests a double portion of his spirit. A chariot of fire took Elijah to heaven, his cloak falling to Elisha, who parted the Jordan, continuing the legacy. Jehu later destroyed Ahab's house, fulfilling prophecy. Elijah's story isn't over. Malachi foretold his return before the Lord's day. Have you felt God lift you in weakness? What if He is calling you now, despite your doubt? God chooses the willing. In this end time, receive Jesus' salvation and receive the truth. Type "I believe" in the comment. Subscribe and watch my miracle story and link below to receive His salvation now.